What's up, kiddos? We're on break this week. That's right, it's vacation time. We're here live from the beach. You know, the only one that exists. Ignore the fact that the times.
Ignore the times.
We're at the beach, and we're here to just chill out, because it is Golden Week, baby. That's right. A shit ton of holidays in Japan that no one really gives a damn about. Except sometimes. Except when it's Greenery Day, and you go out to buy some fucking potted plants, just casually, because you forget what day it is, and you want some plants, and then you go out to the hardware store and see that it's Greenery Day, and fucking everyone is at the greenery store, even though everyone is supposed to be inside.
Hell yeah, brother.
I'm totally not speaking from personal experience of today. Not at all. I totally didn't just break character out of trauma. What? That's right. We're Paramecia Fancast, a One Piece fancast, where we review the beach and the latest chapter of One Piece, and have different One Piece related discussions every single week. My name is Franz.
My name is John, and I'm an avid supporter of Greenery Day.
Fuck you. I just want to buy some goddamn soil and maybe some herbs. Not herb, because that's highly illegal, but herbs. And, no, can't do it. Door's stuck. You're gonna have to fucking order that shit online and wait a goddamn week for it to be delivered to the store.
Damn.
Just so I can go in a fucking hazmat suit and just be like, give me the herb.
Walking in. I require the herb.
But like I said, today is a break week because it is that time of year again, that wonderful special time of year. That's right, Golden Week, when all the mangaka in Shonen Jump take a goddamn rest because they're forced to.
Hell yeah.
At least I assume that's what's happening. God, do I hope. I hope none of them are working right now. They work so hard already.
Yeah. God, I hope Oda's out there catching the big one in Pokemon Go. I don't know. I haven't played Pokemon Go in years, but God, I hope he's catching the big one, whatever the big one is now.
I hope we're that meme of that like cowboy walking in on his son, like playing something. It's just like, are you winning, son? And that's us to Oda.
Yeah. Are you winning, son?
Him and Horikoshi are just like standing by a 7-Eleven as like 50 other people are like smoking next to them. No one's looking at each other. We live in a society.
We live in a fucking society.
Speaking of living and a society.
And Arbor Day.
And Arbor Day, apparently. Since it's break week, we don't really have shit to talk about. And
yeah, sometimes
we come in prepared with some fun little game. But it's Golden Week, baby.
Yeah, there's no rules in Golden Week. That's the holiday. Is that there's no rules. For an entire week in Japan, rules are turned off.
It's just The Purge, actually.
Yeah, it's
Annual
just actually
Purge.
that movie, The Purge.
Oopsie daisy. Turns out, no, I'm not going to make that joke, actually. I'm going to walk that back. Y'all can probably fill that out in your heads, given the times. Woo. Oh.
Japan was just like, ooh, oops. That Golden Week.
Oh, man.
And they conveniently tried to put fucking Arbor Day in the middle of it, like none of us would fucking notice. So in honor of Arbor Day, top 10 One Piece trees.
So we got you. Number one, that's right. We're starting with one.
Yeah.
Our number one tree in One Piece, the one that was really scared of Nami in Whole Cake Island, probably has a name. I'm not like that. I can't remember that shit.
No, it did have a name. It was King Bomb. King Bomb.
Number one tree in One Piece.
Second best tree in One Piece. The hot girl tree that King Bomb was in love with.
Number 3 tree in One Piece. The Adam tree, I guess. We don't know anything about it.
Adam and Eve, more like Adam and Steve. Oh, man.
Number 4, jack shit. Because those are all the trees we fucking know about.
Number 4, the one on O'Hara that got fucking Buster called to oblivion.
Number 5, retroactively, I want this to be number 1. The ones in Sabaody that just made bubbles. That shit was cool.
Oh, yeah, those are cool.
That shit's just cool.
Sabaody's fucking cool. Yeah, okay, geography in One Piece? Can we just talk about this?
Yeah.
Why is it so fucking good? Like, okay, there's a YouTuber, Teching 101, and he has a series called Geography is Everything, and he just talks about, like, the different islands in One Piece and shit. But, like, it's so fucking true, dude. Like, every island is so well thought out in, like, its geography. And, look, you go to other series, and it's like, nobody's putting that much thought into their fucking, like, settings. Come on, man.
It's kind of rare, and, like, you know, it's not for everyone, both in a, like, writing way and, like, in a fan way. I follow this one guy. He's an Irish YouTuber. Goddamn, what's the name? Artifexian on YouTube. He's really interesting because he has a very, like, prolonged project of, like, world build with me from step 1, and he's basically, like, making it's a masterclass of world building in a sense. It might not be like what you do personally. It's not what I do, but I've taken bits and pieces, and you know, it's really interesting to see a creator put that much heart into it. I think, like, my favorite example of, like, geography in One Piece is like, I feel like the glaring, like, the one everyone would instantly be like, the red line, because sure, it's the biggest goddamn stretch of land in the whole fucking shit. Sure.
Yeah.
Dressrosa, just as a, like, geological formation.
Yeah, it's so good.
Its bowl shape was literally a fucking smoking gun that none of us ever thought about.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, it's a bowl, and inside it's Spain. Cool, great. Oh, whoop-de-doo, here comes some kooky all guy in capris and some fucking weird shoes and a boa. What's he gonna do with this bowl? Oh shit. It's jail now.
Oh shit, did somebody say birdcage? No, don't flamingo, please. I thought I heard someone say birdcage.
But, like, sure, that could have happened anywhere, and it's not like Doflamingo needs a specifically bowl-shaped island for birdcage to happen. But it kind of just, like, lent itself to that in a visual aspect.
Yeah, it was like it thematically, it's like, okay, he has the birdcage, cool, but, like, even if they beat the birdcage, like, this is this is his island right now. Like, there is no escape. The only way is to beat him, because all the citizens are, like, quite literally trapped there without them even knowing.
It's just good. Like, a lot of thought gets put into it.
Yeah, it's so good. Even, like, just everything, dude. Like, even we haven't even been there, but, like, Raijin Island was, like, the lightning island, and, like, we heard about it because Luffy, they were like, oh, like, when they were deciding to go to Vegapunk or to Punk Hazard, they were like, oh, like, we could go to that island, and show, like, a island with, like, all this lightning. And it's like, oh, okay, it's just like a one-off gag that Oda's doing.
Yeah.
And then, like, in fucking Roger's flashback, we see Roger and Odin on Raijin Island, like, getting struck by lightning. And it's like, oh, dude, like, this is some fucking good shit. Even, fucking, like, just everything with the Marines. Like, Marineford itself was, like, fucking...
McDonald's 2? The Grand Mac?
Yeah. McDonald's 2, the Grand Mac, is, like, insane, because you think about it and it's like, not only did he build the island, but it's like, okay, this island is in the part of the ocean that like all the streams, like, you know, the water currents will just put you in like an infinite whirlpool and you'll fucking die because you can never escape unless you have like government passage, and then these gates open up and like alter the currents for you to use if you're government. It's like, dude, what? This is so fucking intricate and sick.
And like it's so cool to see that thought put out of like, I'm not saying that like Oda's got some like grand strategy. He just has like really good like fundamentals for like, content creation in like this kind of medium where like,
Yeah.
think of Ohara. Ohara's just an island and there's a big fucking tree. That's it. And there's some houses. But then you like further like poke and prod at that and it's like, okay, well like what's so cool about this tree? Who cares? It's a tree. Who cares? Who gives a shit? And then he's like, books, man. It's like, books? Books,
It's
yeah.
a tree of fucking knowledge, dude.
Yeah, exactly. You just give it some fucking title and then like, it opens up so much towards the setting and towards the like world and what can be explored within it.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
It's fucking cool.
Oda's a good one.
Yeah, even fucking Wano, like right now, like,
Dude,
the fact that Wano, okay, like the different
the seasons,
the different seasons on like different sections of Wano, like you literally cross a bridge and it's just immediately winter in this district, or like you go across a bridge into this other district and it's like fucking like instant summer. Or like fall and shit. It's like, dude, this is fucking crazy. And then all that with like tying that with like, I mean, it hasn't been confirmed, but it's like, come on, dude. Orz's nickname was the Continent Puller. I'd have to double check. I could have sworn that didn't he find Orz like near Wano? What's his face?
I don't know if there was any like specific detail about that.
Maybe I'm just projecting.
But like it'd be really cool to see.
But I just like Oda confirms like hella early on in the story, all the way back in like Alabasta, Vivi confirms like, oh, like different islands have different like weather shit. Like they have different magnetic fields around them that like change the weather. Like each island is capable of having a different like climate, even though they could be right next to each other. And she's like, yeah, the Grand Line is like fucked up like that. And that, and then like Orz, we learn his nickname is the Continent Puller, and it's like, oh shit, like did he do that? Like that's
dude, there's so much to just wonder about.
Yeah, it's fucking cool, dude. One Piece world building is fucking sick.
Like I saw a tweet earlier that's like, world building's not the only pull. Like it shouldn't be like what you like lead with. And to a certain degree, like I agree with that. Like, there was this, I've brought it up like thrice or so on the podcast, but there was this like really poo-poo like French CGI show on like the third Nickelodeon channel on satellite TV, like way back when. It was called Skyland, I think.
Maybe.
I don't remember much about it because it's kind of garbage, but the setting is very interesting. There was world building to be had, but it was just garbage. The whole thing was just doo-doo. So like
doo-doo butt.
I can't like fully, I can't say like, hey man, go watch Skyland. It's like 3 seasons or some shit. It looks like dog butt. It reads like dog butt. It watches like dog butt. But you're gonna love the world. Like that sucks.
Yeah.
So like
you definitely need like everything else, and then the world building like amplifies it.
Right. Like you gotta have the adventure like go through it. That's why I feel like isekai as a genre is pretty. It's the opposite of that, right? We're like, what's the setting? What's the world? RPG. Well, what kind of RPG? Like, what do you do? Fantasy. Cool. Okay. What do you do? What are you doing with it? Dragons. Lich, titty. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
And so like the setting is like fallen completely flat, but there's like all this quote unquote adventure to be had. Depends on the series, but there's all the adventure. There's all the like the character like depth and whatnot. Again, this is making several assumptions, like asterisk asterisk, depending on the series.
Yeah.
But because the whole genre just kind of like falls back on I died and now I'm in Dragon Quest. It's like, I get it. It's all Dragon Quest.
Dude, that's
I don't give a shit.
That's
At least like
that's what's his face's wet dream, dude. You just Tagashi. That's what he wants.
Oh, he's praying for that day. The like at least pick like an interesting world. Like I get it. All RPGs we fight God at the end, but like give me Xenoblade. I don't know shit about the series, but all I know is that there's a lot to do with God, and it's a pretty interesting world. Personally, I don't like RPGs, so don't catch me with that shit. I'm not gonna play Xenoblade. Fuck no. Yeah. That's 100 goddamn hours. I I tried playing Persona 5, and I got to like the second palace, and I'm like, oh, I have to use my brain? This ain't Pokemon?
Hey, actually, fuck this.
Basically. And I have not been back to it since.
Dude, I feel that. Except the opposite. Because I went back, and I'm all the way at the end right now.
It's fucking madman. Like,
but yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Like it's an afterthought most of the time, but when you think about it, it's like, oh shit. Because like I've been watching. Wooly, he used to be part of Super Best Friends.
Right.
He only read or watched up until like early Shippuden, and then just stopped. He was like, I'm kind of done with Naruto.
Valid.
But he's been going back. He surprisingly hasn't been spoiled about a lot of stuff. And he's like, you know what? I gotta finish the fight. I gotta Halo 3 finish the fight. So he's been going back through those Naruto games and reliving the story that way. And he's on the final game right now. And it's just like going through and remembering the story of Naruto is like, oh man, oh dude, this shit was kind of crazy. But then like I think about it and I'm like, oh fuck, like, you know, there was no real interest. Like, you could have had those, like, the setting could have been anywhere. That's how boring it was. Like, the locations. Like, it's just, like, forest or, like, city. And that's it.
Truly. And, like, there was, like, thought put into it. Like, there was a map. Personally, like, I love media that gives me a map. I started reading Aragon because it gave me a map. Little did I know it was shit.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Aragon. Let me tell you.
This ain't the space.
Well, this is gonna be the space for a little bit because now I'm pissed. I have the first two fucking books, and
I think first I have all four.
See, okay, because the fucking guy Christopher whatever. Oh my little butthole. If he's somehow tangentially fucking listening to this, I hope he feels personally attacked. My entire like childhood reading this book, I was like, bro, the trilogy's gonna be fucking sick. And then I hear news, oh, it's not a trilogy anymore, it's a cycle. First off, he had the audacity to call 4 books a cycle. I was like, what? No, that's not a thing. Just say it's a 4-book series or something.
Trying to be like Ursula Le Guin over here.
Yeah, cycle. Get out of here. Second off, I never got the 3rd or 4th book. But the second book was fucking sick because it followed the brother, and it was like a real like sort of like the main character was doing all this magic shit with this elf and another, and I was like, okay, this is like mega fantasy. His brother's story was literally like these orcs fucking came into my town looking for my brother, so I fucking murdered them in cold blood, and now me and the remainder of the fucking town are like on this boat just going around murdering orcs. And that was the shit I lived for, dude. They were going to like different places and just fucking murdering orcs, and I was like, dude, this is sick. But I never finished the books, and I got mad that there was a 4th book added because I really wanted it to I wanted to see the ending, and I didn't want to read through 2 books to get to the ending.
It's a lot, like
petty, I know, but
right, valid, because I did the same thing. So to get back to the whole Naruto point, like there was like a very like wide world, and in it we like got nothing as a setting. We like these villages are hidden in something by function of just how they are, and we saw so little of them. There was first of all, village hidden in the sound. What the fuck, Orochimaru? Like, you think you're gonna trick me with that? The village hidden in the sand, that was really cool. Like how the whole city was and everything.
Yeah.
Village hidden in the mist, I believe it was like also cool. Like we got to see it like visually. It was really cool. But like we got like nothing about it really. And all of that aside, the most interesting place in all of Naruto, it's not the fucking waterfalls with the damn statues.
It's the bench. No,
may
or the swing. That's what it is.
The swing. You're right. It's the bridge where they fight Zabuza.
Yeah,
because you're just sitting there. It's like, why are they building a bridge? Why is there like ninja technology, Boruto?
Shit.
Like
ninja tech, and my man pulls out a fucking 9mm. Like, that's what Boruto has just become, but
hell yeah.
But yeah, I feel you, dude. Like,
it's the only interesting place. The whole thing.
It's like there's like you said, like there's the blueprints for it, right? There's like the start of it. There's a thought out map at least. There's like different areas, different lands. There's like stories behind. There's like lore behind like how each land was like started. But that's as far as he went with it. He was like, oh, that's all I need to tell the stories and motivations of like certain characters. And I'm like, well, that's cool, but like, because I think the coolest place, and it wasn't even like deemed as anything fucking important. It was just the coolest fucking looking place, and it was the mountains that they fought, that Sasuke fought the Eight Tails on when he fought Killer Bee. Those like mountains that were like the mountain peaks, they were like in the clouds. That's the village. That's near village hidden in the mist, right? I think so. It was the hidden cloud village. It was the lightning. Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah, that's the one, not mist. The cloud. Yeah, the other, the way high up mist. Yeah, the fluffy mist. Yeah. That shit's cool. But yeah, that was like the coolest place we went to in Naruto. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. Other than that, it was like the waterfall or like random forest, random thing. Then there was like Pain City too. Oh yeah, he just had like also pretty cool. A whole ass city, yeah, right? It was like this all like steampunk-ish city. It had like a whole bunch of fucking pipes and shit everywhere. It was like Pipe City, right? Village hidden in the pipes. But like, it is referred to as Pain's Tower within the village hidden in the rain. That's what it was. Yeah, it's things like that. Like you see stuff like that, and it's like I'll give I'll give Kishimoto props, because like the blueprint was there. He just didn't feel the need to go anywhere with it, and I felt like if he had, like, it would have elevated it. Not saying it would have made it any better or worse, but it definitely would have elevated a lot of the high points. Like, it would have been. It's fucking cool. And like, I've got beef with like Naruto's power system when it comes to like, and like I've kind of intended this to be my next video. Like how power levels work in like media, and I'm like writing a script for it, but like, y'all, it's a time. I know it, you know it.
we don't got to focus on that. Like, it's in the works, as a progressive statement. But, so like, looking at One Piece's, like, power structure and everything, Oda just made, like, the super version of rock, paper, scissors. You know how, like, in the playground, way back when, you'd be like, rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and someone just pull out a gun?
Yeah.
And be like, gun? That's what Oda created, except it's, like, everything. This is the worst day of my life, because I'm about to reference, like, a Big Bang Theory episode.
Oh, no.
But if I'm not mistaken...
Bazinga!
But yeah, Bazinga, they, like, introduce some, like, stupid, poorly thought out, like expansion on rock, paper, scissors, but was, like, some dumb Star Trek shit, and it's, like, a very poorly tacked on joke. But if it was properly done, and it was, like, this whole diagram of, like a whiteboard with all these, like, lines and directions and, like, counters and this.
It was like rock, paper, scissors, and then there was like a dragon shield and sword.
And there was, like, Spock
yeah.
and, like, some shit, or, like, whatever. Yeah, it was, like, way too much. But if not garbage writers post the, like, writer's strike in America didn't write the power, like, that thing. That's what One Piece is. One Piece is just super duper rock, paper, scissors, where you'll be surprised, like, what will beat another thing. And, like, there's always this, like, equation of, like, a 1v1 battle. You can, like, kind of, like, try to parse out, like, what will happen, or if it's just, like, a stalemate and it just comes up to, like, skill. Eneru versus Luffy straight up was just, like, you know, Eneru was, like, built up to be like, he's a Logia fruit user. We don't know how to beat this shit because we've not discovered hockey and whatever. And Luffy's like, he's made a robot. How did that happen? Bop, 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 and beats him to the ground.
Yeah.
So, and then there's the example of Akainu fisting Ace.
Oh, and, no.
Because that was, like, an example of, like, hey, Oda, what the fuck? And Oda just saying that, like, Akainu being, like, magma, it's, like, hotter than just, like, flame. It's
Lava,
a whole new level.
Greater than fire.
Exactly.
Which is so like... Hockey was already introduced, like, formally.
True.
He could have just been like, yeah, he was using hockey, but he just decided to respond with lava greater than fire.
It's pretty, like, out there, but I think it's really interesting how that happens. Yeah. Whereas in Naruto, we had the fucking chakra system with the elements that was, like, poorly tacked on, like, after the time skip.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of just ignored for quite a while, even though it opened up and gave the world so much more depth, because like, Avatar did it right. You know, there was, like, someone made a diagram, like, the Avatar fans are really, really talented. Someone made a diagram where it was, like, the 4 types of bending, like earth, wind, fire, say do you remember? And water.
And then the like crossovers, right?
The crosses, and then, like, the elevated. So, like, water's elevated was blood, fire's elevated was lightning and such. But there was, like, the middle grounds, like, fire bending and earth bending was lava bending.
Yeah.
That is very well done. It's very, like, it's easy to parse. It gives you, like, space to, like, wonder, like, oh, what's air and fire? Ooh, and then you, like, see it and you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And, you know, it pumps you up to a certain degree. And like, I think it's cool. But Naruto just was like, Naruto can use wind, but he doesn't know that because he's kind of stupid, and then he used the wind, and then that's it. Also, there's this person who uses the dust element, which is atoms.
So there's so many.
That's it?
Like, there's so many fucking weird ones in like Naruto, like because he brings up the chakra system, and then I understand why he quickly discarded it, because he was like, wait a minute, I'm fucking stupid, like none of this other shit that I want to make will make sense if we use this chakra system, so just forget that ever happened, because it's like the chakra system was kind of like the bending system, like that bending chart, and it's like, oh, water style and earth style made tree style, like tree jutsu, and it's like, oh, that's sick, but only the first Hokage could use tree style. It's like, wait, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Only the first Hokage could use it. It's like, but what if I was really good at like earth and water? Like, no, well, you can't. You could be good at both, but you can't use tree because you're not the first Hokage. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, this is bullshit.
Naruto like really like muddles up with like the whole like eugenic-y, like the bloodlines.
Yeah, and then like it's all some bullshit. And then like some of the cool characters were like, they didn't fucking fit on that chart at all, because it's like, all right, like they wouldn't even be considered the elevated of Earth, like fucking I don't even know what he'd be considered. I guess Earth, but the Sand Ninja, Gaara's father, he's able to use, like, I believe he's able to use, like, gold dust or magnetic dust, something like that.
Right.
I think he was, like, gold dust, and then there was another, one of the previous Sand Kages, like, could use, like, magnetic dust, and it was, like, the black, it was like magnetized earth, and he could just use that, and it was like and like he could magnetize shit. It was like, dude, what? Like, this is cool, but you could tell Horikoshi was like, oh, this is sick. Does it work with the chart? Fuck the chart.
You mean Kishimoto
or Kishimoto? Sorry, what did I say?
Horikoshi.
Yeah, I do that shit all the time.
I feel you. Like, Oda is clean, simple, and short.
Yeah.
And then all these other... You're right. He does have, like...
Oh, yeah. Magnet. Oh, you're right. I'm racist. No.
So, no. Looking into it, apparently, I don't... What the fuck is the source on this stuff? I don't see what the source on this is, but... on top of like it being like a blood limit, the bloodline like horse shit, apparently like all of these like wacky jutsu element stuff do have like combinations. So like the magnet is wind and earth, allegedly. Dust is earth, wind, and fire. I already made the joke. But it's like plus the bloodline shit. And it's like, guy.
It's some weird shit, man. Like, it's so funny. This is some inside baseball, but fucking yesterday I meant to message you before I messaged you. I clicked on Discord and I clicked on the messages and I just started typing because I assumed you were the last person that I direct messaged.
Oh.
I had actually direct messaged Gustavo before. So, and I was in the Discord call with him. So I'm messaging him. I'm like, hey man, I have my alarm set for like 6 a.m. Like, you know, we'll be good. And then he was like, yeah, dude, sick. And I'm like, wait, what? And then he's like, but can we talk about Naruto instead? And I looked at the name and I was like, dude, what the fuck? So Monkey's Pod turned out to be true, but
hey, oh man, my name's Gustavo. That's gonna be funny to nobody except us.
Yeah. Jesus. But yeah, that's a little inside baseball for, I guess, nobody but you and me.
Hey man, fuck it.
I thought it was amusing.
Like, what if we stagger? And like, this is gonna stay in the recording because it'd be lovely to hear feedback. But what if we like stagger like break weeks? Because and like, so some break weeks we talk about like One Piece. But, like, we can't always talk about One Piece because, like, yeah, like we we don't hit the bottom of the barrel because there really is like a lot to talk about, and we have tangentially been talking about One Piece, but like, we'd rather not reach the bottom of that barrel so soon.
Yeah.
So, what if just fuck it? Every so often we bring in a guest and then talk about like some other shit. We've done that with Adri. Adri's talked about Boku no Hero.
Yeah. Dude, we can do that. I'd be down.
We'll see.
Talk about some random shit.
Exactly. Bring it back, Naruto.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Speaking
baby.
speaking of bottom of the barrel, Shanks is Zebek's son.
So we were talking about this like before like recording, and who was it that what YouTuber?
It was Sawyer
Right.
7 Mage. He's one of the like OG like One Piece YouTubers, because it used to be him and King of Lightning like way back were the only ones talking about like Naruto.
Right.
They used to talk about Naruto and One Piece. And when Naruto ended, I mean, he was still talking about One Piece Weekly, so he just like transitioned to that. But every so often, the same thing kind of we do. If there's a break week, he'll just make a video talking about like whatever fancies his interest. And this video was talking about like Zebek, like rocks, and like how he could return to the story, quote unquote, like whether it's just in like we get a flashback or like, inherited will, wink wink, with Blackbeard. But he says something hella interesting that I was like, oh fuck, like, obviously maybe not all of it, but like it's super fucking interesting to think about. So he says, he brings up that during the flashback, I think it was like chapter 965, Roger and Rayleigh are holding up, like they're playing with Hiyori and Momonosuke, and Roger says something along the lines like, oh, it's been like so long since like we've held a baby. And then Rayleigh's like, yeah, it reminds us of like the old days or something like that. He says something weird like that. And basically he makes the connection that like in that so Shanks is like 39 in the current timeline, and in that flashback, like the way the timeline lines up, Shanks would have been 1 year old at the time of the God Valley incident.
Right, yeah.
And he just sort of brings up the idea of like, well, what if Roger beat Rocks and then like just watched over his child? Like obviously there's like a giant missing chunk because we know nothing about Zebek, but it's like he tries to fill it in by saying like, well, what if Zebek and Roger had sort of a relationship like Garp and Roger? Like, they're not friends, but like, he beats him and he's like, it's a fucking child. Like, all right, I'll watch over him. And the whole theory is just, what if Shanks is in fact Zebek's son, like real son? And when he was at Reverie, when he said, I want to talk about a certain pirate, what if he was referring to Zebek and not Blackbeard or Luffy or anybody? Because I think in that chapter as well, they had also talked about, that was the chapter that Garp was like going on about he introduced the Rocks pirates.
That is true. Like the timeliness of it does match up.
Yeah.
I will say though that like I think at this point in time, there's no point in trying to like finagle in like details or like it's possible because it may be this. Like the times match up. That's what's important, and like. It's cool to just like sit back and see. Though later in the video he does talk about the whole conversation about like Zebek returns got me thinking that like Gecko Moria was last seen walking into what was like
Blackbeard's territory.
Right,
Pirate
right.
Island.
Was it called Pirate Island?
I think so.
I thought it was like Hive some shit. You're probably right.
Yeah, it was the Hive or something like that.
It doesn't matter. Blackbeard's territory. He walks in and he's been bamboozled. Like, I don't think he's one to go down so easily because yes, he was a Shichibukai, but also Blackbeard's a Yonko, the Yami Yami no Mi. Yeah. There's a lot of factors. So my brain gear started ticking, and as usual, I do not subscribe to this, but it'd be cool if whoopsie doodles, Moria's dead. The Blackbeard pirates now have Moria's, like, fruit and can bring people to life now?
Shit, yeah.
I don't remember how it works with, like, soul. Like, you can't just bring, like, a soul and, like, stuff it in. But what if they find Zebek's body? You know?
Yeah, you can bring back the
body.
because you can put somebody's shadow in the body,
Right.
But if I remember correctly, it takes, like, doesn't it use, like, their sort of memories and shit? Or, well, I'm thinking back to Ryuma because that's the biggest one.
Oh,
like,
it does. You're right.
He had some of Ryuma's memories, but also he had because it was Brook's soul in Ryuma,
so he had, like, Brook's mannerisms too.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here, like, and they also have, like, similar devil fruit usage as we see with Ors and the Gomu Gomu no Mi, as he's using, like, Luffy's kind of shit. So this is, like, real fucking out there, like, crack theory of crack theories. What if Blackbeard gives the order to, like, he gives the fruit to someone else, right? He says, take my juice, put it in rocks, put it in his body. Like, this is weird, like, skin cosplay, basically, now that I'm thinking about it. But now Blackbeard is rocks. He's as strong as rocks. And then he has all the fruits that he has. That's kind of fucked if you think about it.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked. Oh, God. Thinking of, like, rocks coming back at, like, because of Moria is like, shit. Even, like, I mean, he also brings up the fact that, like, so fucking Big Mom and Kaido are, like, teaming up.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck are they doing teaming up? Like, it can't just be to, like, crush Luffy. That seems like, you know, I don't know. Maybe that's the reason, but it seems to me like, okay, the two emperors of the sea joining forces to crush, like, if they explicitly join forces to crush Luffy, then that would sort of, like, that would what's the word I'm looking for? Like, legitimize Luffy as a threat, and I don't think they want to do that.
Right, and it's, like, kind of, like, too early in the narrative for that kind. As much as we're like, Luffy, 5th Emperor, let's go, like, it's a little too early for that, realistically.
Yeah. But it's like, Big Mom's fruit, I don't think, like, we've seen, like, how she can use it. Like, she can put part of people's souls, like, in, so we've never seen her put a soul into another person, but, like, she can put it into fucked. Like, animals and shit. Like, the I forget the little rabbit's name, but the little rabbit who is, like, that swordsman, everybody was joking around, but also, like, kind of asking, because, like, he was like a rabbit, but he had, like, the yellow eyes, and everybody was like, holy fuck, did she somehow get part of Mihawk's soul and put it into this, like, rabbit? Because he was, like, a really skilled swordman when he was, like, fighting Carrot, but turned out not to. We don't know if that's the case. He just has somebody's soul, but yeah, he had somebody's soul. That's the point I'm getting at. And it's like, well, if somehow, because she's had this power since she was a child, so she's had this power since she was on the Rocks crew. If somehow she has a part of Zebek's soul and she's just waiting to put it into something, like, who the fuck knows?
Dude, like, the one thing that kind of doesn't make sense is, like, for them to do this now, like, you know, they had their own personal, like, drives, I guess, like, you know, Big Mom wants to make her whole shit, like, her whole fuck colony. Kaido wants to kill himself. You know, you gotta set the bar somewhere, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like, I guess you're right. Like, Blackbeard having this fruit power and possibly knowing the location of the body would mobilize Big Mom and Kaido towards, like, being like, oh fuck. And he also has Whitebeard's fruit which is probably more of a symbolic thing, but, you know, makes you think.
Yeah. Oh, it's fucking it's crazy. And it's crazy like if this theory is true with Shanks, it would for me, I lean into it because it would put a lot of this Shanks is a cop theory like into perspective.
Right.
Because even in the video, he points out that like, and I had to go back and check for myself because I was like, was this like anime only or was it? But when Luffy meets Rayleigh specifically tells him, because he's like, oh, you got that straw hat, like, you know, because it was Rogers, but he's like, oh, like Shanks gave it to me, and he's like, oh, like Shanks gave it to you, and Luffy's like, oh, dude, you know Shanks, and Rayleigh says something along the lines of like, yeah, but like I can't tell you everything about Shanks, like, you know, there's stuff that he hasn't told you that I can't in good mind tell you, like he has to be the one to tell you, and it's like, what the fuck? What? This is like 500 chapters in. What the fuck, dude? I thought Shanks is our boy. Yes. So why didn't he tell? Why is he lying to us?
You know,
but
it really
it's
could
just
be
kind of crazy. Yeah,
it is because like it could be as simple as like surprise, surprise, he was on Gold Roger's ship.
Yeah,
like that. That's like a very real possibility, but like we truly don't know shit about him.
Yeah, it's wild. And if he was like Rox's son, like it would also kind of explain like why he, one of the 4 emperors of the sea, is literally just allowed to break into Maryjoa and get a meeting with the Gorosei, and there's like not a bigger like
hullabaloo.
There's not a bigger hullabaloo. Like I remember the theories going into Reverie that like Kaido was gonna break into Reverie and steal Shirahoshi, and that was sort of like the community like zeitgeist, like the hive mind. Everyone was like, yeah, like a Yonko appearing at Reverie is like probably the worst thing that could ever happen to the world government. And then Oda was like, oh yeah, and he showed us, and it's like, what the fuck, like why, like why on earth are all of the Gorosei, one, so composed, like none of them had a face like, oh my god, it's you. They all seemed kind of annoyed. They're like, dude, what the fuck do you want? Like, because it's you, we'll listen, but like, come on, bro, we got a meeting in 5 minutes. And it's just it's just sort of weird, dude. But it would kind of make sense if, thinking along this theory's lines, like if he is Zebek's son and he wants to tell them like, hey, there's like, you know, I learned about my father. He was a bad dude. There is a pirate now who is following my father's footsteps and trying to like do all this taboo shit. You should probably get on that. Like,
you know,
because I think it would also explain too the scar. Like, because we know him and Blackbeard fought, but it's like, why did they fight? Because he had no, like, Shanks didn't give a fuck if what's-his-face was killed on Whitebeard's crew.
Right.
And that claw had to have happened, that had to have happened, like, a while before all of that. So it's like, well, what? Like, because hold on. When did Shanks get that scar?
He had it, like, during Romance Dawn.
Yeah, he did, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah, he had it during Romance Dawn. So, yeah, so what the fuck happened? He had to have had it, like, right when fucking, like, dude, what the fuck? This is wild, dude.
Scar theories.
Yeah, him and Blackbeard fought. We don't know how or why or what, but, like, if this is to have any merit, it would kind of make some things make sense. Like, okay, maybe Shanks figured out that what Blackbeard is doing and tried to stop him, and then Blackbeard is like, nah, Wolverine.
It's very, very possible. I don't remember quite when or how, like, a lot of these things happen, but, you know, that's One Piece, you know?
That's One Piece.
We're all here on this magic carpet ride to just figure out who the fuck did what, when, and how.
Yeah.
We're just playing a big game of Clue.
It was Colonel Mustard in the library with Sengoku's Devil Fruit. Oh my goodness. Yeah, One Piece is fucking crazy, and world building is fucking sick. Like I could just nut over world building, and I guess it's unfair, right, to like compare One Piece's level of like world building to other series, but
more often than not, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, because part of it is like, okay, One Piece has been going on for so long, like it's afforded the sort of like luxury of being able to build out a world, and I just innately the way it's structured, the story is structured as such, like, oh, we follow the compass and hop island to island in search of the big treasure.
Yeah,
it's like that just sort of innately leans into the whole like, oh, each island has to be different. But
see, a real world builder would really take like issue at that point, just from a like, why are they all archipelagos except the middle? And you never know, we might get an explanation at some point. But at this point, the most we have is magnets. How do they work?
I can't believe after all these years, Insane Clown Posse was right.
Dude, fucking magnets.
Fucking magnets. How do they work?
And even physicists can't refute that. Kind of. I don't know. So,
oh fuck.
There are ways to like poke and prod at like Oda's world building, but what can be said about it is the world of One Piece and the players within it complement each other very well.
Yeah. And I will say, like, there are some other series in Shonen Jump that are doing world building like really well. Like Black Clover is one of them. In the
That's
most
next
recent...
on the reading list for me.
There's like there's four different like countries or like capitals based on the four suits. Like there's the Spade Kingdom, the Club Kingdom, the Heart Kingdom, and the whatever the other one is, the Diamond Kingdom or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's like four of them, and they're in like it kind of reminds me of Full Metal Alchemist, the way it's set up in a way, because they're all in like this sort of like war. They're not like completely at war, but they're in this sort of like, oh, sometimes some soldiers from the other ones come in and we have to like stop them and shit. Right now it's like kind of brewing to lead up to this war, but basically the time skip happened. They went to oh, I forget which kingdom. Basically they went to a brand new kingdom and they fought this dude, and then he was like, oh, like he started summoning like runes like out of like his mana like manifested in real life as runes, and then he was able to like use like mega powerful magic, and they were like, dude, what the fuck? Because like up until this point everybody's only been able to use magic with their like spell book, the grimoire. And the dude's like, yeah, like, you can manifest your mana and amplify it with runes, like, using nature, like using it like nature magic. And it's like, oh fuck. And so the time skip happened, and now there's a bunch of our characters that are able to like magnify their magic with like this this skill that at least right now only exists in this other country. And I'm like, dude, this is kind of fucking sick. It reminded me of the reason I made the comparison to Full Metal Alchemist. It reminded me of the Ling family, like the what's her face was able to use. The way she used alchemy was like she would throw the kunai and she could make the transmutation circles like long range.
Oh, right,
Remember
right.
that shit? Yeah. And I'm like, dude, that's like that sort of shit's fucking cool. I'm like, all right, like, maybe it's not as like it's pretty deep. It's not as like in your face as like, oh, haha, this island is made of like lightning and fire. But it's like, oh, like this land has a different political climate and like geographical setup, and they're able to use magic different. Like the way their people discovered and developed magic is just, different because of the climate in which the everything takes place.
That's pretty interesting. Like I all things considered, I think I'll give it I almost said a listen. God, podcasting. Fuck.
I'll give it a listen, dude.
I'll put the Viz app like up to my ear.
hear me out, bro. Manga ebooks. Or no, not ebooks. Manga audiobooks.
Like, leftist brain is like accessibility because, you know, like not everyone is like able to see this and that. But also like meme brain is just ching bang ah!
having to pronounce every single onomatopoeia.
Every single onomatopoeia. Not a
Blam,
fucking
blam, blam, blam,
dong.
Like-
Go, 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 go.
Ting, ting, ting. Yeah. I'm shuddering at the thought of JoJo audiobooks. Go, 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 go.
Oh god. I mean, not to like poke holes in the bit, but that's what like descriptive that's what descriptive audio tracks are for, you know?
Shit. Oh shit. So it already exists.
It already exists. Like,
Oh,
I don't know
fuck.
if they do that for anime. Actually, that'd
Dude,
be an interesting topic for a video. I'll write that down somewhere. Accessibility for anime, but
we've just tapped into a fucking gold mine, bro.
what if I
Hold
can't
on.
read, you dumb bit? Adri was like, "That's what manga's for." You're not listening to the conversation. You don't understand. She said, "Okay, bye."
You don't understand the fucking moon runes that is the English language. What the fuck is twas? I can't read that shit.
I can't read in general. Honestly, that's the crack theory. I can't read. It's not a crack theory. It's true.
It's not a crack theory. It's a cry for help.
That's just
Oh,
life.
man.
That's my life.
It's just my life, man. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Look, I'm down to do this sort of free range shit more often.
Just talk, play, talk.
For not having any sort of roadmap, we covered a lot of shit.
We pretty much did. That's, you know, freeform jazz is good.
Freeform jazz, hell yeah. But yeah, that's gonna be it for us this week. That's gonna wrap it up. Chapter 979 is gonna be next week, so be wary of that. That should be a good one. I'm interested to see if the leaks come out early, because usually Golden Week the leaks come out like hella early.
Wouldn't they already be out?
I think so, but I read somewhere that one of the other big scan like suppliers got like fucked up. So
Heck yeah, sure.
yeah. So I'm interested to see, just from I'm on the sidelines with my little popcorn. I'm just interested to see how the carnage plays out. But
you know, yeah, fuck it.
That's how it be. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for us this week. Don't forget to follow all of our social media. We are at Paramecia Cast on Twitter, Paramecia Fancast everywhere else. ParameciaFancast.libsyn.com. The episodes will be uploaded every single Monday following the official release. And as soon as they're uploaded on Libsyn, they're sent to every single podcatcher: Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, iHeartRadio, I Hate Radio, yeah, all of them. if you can think of
I'm
one that has a
lukewarm
name,
towards radio.
yeah, my favorite app. I'm lukewarm towards radio. They got some good
Jeez.
exclusive shows on there.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. Paramecia Fancast on YouTube as well. Episodes go up there every single week. They might be a little delayed on usually Monday or Tuesday. I get them out only because dude, sometimes YouTube is fucking stupid. I processed a whole video and then it was stuck on 99 and it just wouldn't move, and so I was forced to restart the whole thing again.
Why are they like this?
Why are they like this? I don't know, man. Paramecia TV is our secondary channel. Be sure to give that a subscription and a like.
When
that's
I'm
where we
not
upload.
vastly depressed, I'll put out a video. I promise
Yeah.
you.
That's when we upload our sort of One Piece
Loosey-goosey.
yeah, loosey goosey One Piece adjacent content. Because there's some videos I'm gonna put up there that aren't like, they're not the podcast, but they're still having to do with One Piece. But like, I'd rather place everything that's not the podcast on that channel. Well, which is what we've been doing. We got some Demon Slayer reviews. Your video, fucking, I'm objectively right.
I like.
we got
I got
some good
ideas. I got ideas, and like this random thought about accessibility in animes got me thinking of another one.
stuff. Ooh.
But again, we all are having a time.
Yeah.
So it's been 1 week since you
Yep.
looked at me, threw your arms to the side and said I'm angry. 5 days since you laughed at me. That's as much as I know.